Go on, explain yourself. If I explain myself, you're not even going to take 2 seconds to actually pay attention to my perspective. You're going to go ahead and listen to all the perspectives that I put out there about me. Make that make sense. You want me to sit here and explain my side of the story, but you're not even going to listen to it. So what the fuck is the point?
Hi Curslings, today we are talking about the Resilient Jenkins, as a few recent clips have come to light that I think we need to discuss. Now, a major component of the anti-family vlogging community, at least here on YouTube, is centered around both the ethical concerns of exploiting children on the internet for the purposes of earning an income, often at the expense of the child.
When it comes to children's privacy online, the law is spotty at best. And so we are in this tricky position as parents, where in almost all instances, the law is giving us ultimate decision-making authority over whether, when, why, how, and with whom to share our children's private digital information.
And the harm that comes from oversharing those kids' lives on the internet, which is also known as sharenting, something that I have talked about in the past, as has Radiant Brit.
When I use the word sharenting, I mean to say everything that parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, educators, coaches, and other trusted adults do digitally with children's private information. The term is typically used to mean specifically what parents do on social media. That is a big part of it, but it is not all of it.
After the Jenkins had their baby in late January of this year, a lot of folks, including myself, began to joke that the infant was a quote-unquote content baby, as Stephanie has released multiple subscriber-only videos of just the baby, which is disgusting. It is disgusting to put anything about your newborn behind a paywall for strangers on the internet to gain access to. It's just weird. It's strange. It's gross. It's exploitative. Bizarre. Just bleh, bleh. But it's not just video footage and photos of her newborn that Stephanie has put behind a paywall. She also made it a point to release the child's name to those same paying subscribers, and then threw a hissy fit when the name was ultimately leaked, because you can't contain stuff like this on the internet. That's part of the reason why this community exists, which is to advocate for the children's privacy, for their rights to have a limited internet footprint before the age of 18. So it shouldn't be a surprise then that in this April vlog posted by Stephanie Thompson to her fledgling YouTube channel, her oldest daughter refers to her infant sister as quote-unquote cute. This girl's gonna make us money, 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 money. Yikes!
Be cute. This girl doesn't make us money.
I don't know, I don't look at her like that. I don't usually.
Now, why would a 10-year-old girl view her infant sister as a source of revenue? Could it be that it's because her parents have said as much in her vicinity out loud in their single motel room that all 7 of them are crammed into? It's certainly troubling and, frankly, dehumanizing. It's also come to light how Stephanie Thompson treats her children while she's making content. For those of you who have followed other family vloggers, especially the controversial ones, you'll be familiar with Stephanie's irritated and exasperated responses in these next clips, because we've seen similar examples from other momfluencers.
Thumbs up, subscribe.
Our entire schedule revolved around YouTube. It felt more like a set than a house.
She just wanted to show the view of a Mormon happy family.
But they only saw what we wanted to show them.
Sit her down on the flipping couch. Okay, move it. If I hear one more word, get out.
The devil knocked, and we opened the door.
In Stephanie's Sunday live stream on YouTube, her oldest daughter will come over and ask if she can sit with her mother, promising to stay out of the video. She just wants to sit with her mom.
What's up, E? Can I hang out with you for a little? promise I won't be in the video.
Stephanie will refuse, telling her daughter that it is quote-unquote not about that.
It's not about that.
And if I'm going to sit here and conversate with you, then I'm going to just have to turn it back off. It being the live stream.
If I'm just gonna sit here and conversate with you, then I'm gonna have to just turn it back off.
You can still talk to your video.
It's not about that, Eve.
In other words, Stephanie is telling her daughter, who is 10, by the way, that she is too busy to just even sit beside her children because she's doing a live stream. Live streams that I want to add are painfully boring. Feel like an obligation that Stephanie has just foisted onto herself, because you can tell she doesn't want to do this. She hates interacting with her audience. She is a very entitled person. Who doesn't feel like she owes anyone anything, and she's owed everything.
With that being said, you're only paying $5.99 a month. I'm not going to respond to 8 comments a day or respond to a bunch of, I have that sub-only space on TikTok. I'm going to respond to 1 a week, okay? And if I feel like you're just being ridiculous with the requests that you're coming at me with, I don't feel like I need to respond to that for $5.99 a month. And if you feel like you're not satisfied with that, you're more than welcome to leave.
In fact, the only reason Stephanie's probably even continuing to do live streams is 1, because it's promised as part of her subscription tiers, and 2, because it's to get potential super chats and gifts. Although Stephanie doesn't really get a lot of either. So I feel like this has diminishing returns for her. So instead of allowing her daughter to sit beside her, Stephanie tells her to quote unquote, go find something else to do. Go play or go back inside.
You and your sister need to go find something to do. Go play or go back inside. Yes, I did, yeah.
Immediately after this exchange, Stephanie will performatively talk about wanting to take the kids to the library or something, but she isn't even sure if it's open on a Sunday, which you would think she would know if they are regularly going to the library, right?
I kind of want to take them to the library, but I don't even know if the library is open on Sundays. It's not that warm out to go swimming. And plus, like, public pools. Last time I took my kids to a public school, they all, a public pool, not school, they came home with pink eye.
Less than 10 minutes later, her daughters, both of them, will interrupt her again.
I'm liking it a lot. It's way easier to cook breakfast on there and get it done at a decent time instead of the one burner situation. What's up, baby girl?
Because they think that Stephanie is just making a video. So they ask, are you done making videos yet? And Stephanie will reply, not quite yet. And in return, her daughter sighs audibly, just in a way that suggests that Stephanie is often probably filming, that she is more focused on filming and being on her phone and recording and doing TikTok and social media stuff than spending time with her kids.
You done making videos yet?
Not quite yet.
In fact, Stephanie gets annoyed with her daughter's second interruption because she then says this.
At least can you continue your videos?
It's funny how you guys don't ever care that I'm doing something with my phone except when it's on live.
What's heartbreaking about this is that her daughters then plead with her to let them stay, that they will be good, they'll just sit there, they just want to sit with her. And despite this, Stephanie tells them no. She doesn't want the kids interacting with the audience and promptly ends the live.
You continue the video, but can we stay here with you?
Nope, I'll go ahead and turn it off.
What?
Yep.
Why?
Because I don't generally have you guys in the lives like that. Okay, I'm gonna go, okay? I'll talk to you guys later.
Now, on its face, this might seem like reasonable, if not responsible parenting. You don't want your kids on live stream, so you've set a boundary, you've turned it off, and you've removed that possible interaction from happening. And I would almost be willing to believe it if we hadn't seen examples of Stephanie using her kids in her content, including to address haters and to perpetuate the narrative that they are happy and they don't want to be split apart and that people are trying to ruin their family.
Not a straight, that's my brother. You stay away from my brother, 'cause I say so.
If we're okay with doing that, we're probably okay with them being on a live stream. I mean, she's fine with her infant being on the live stream, right? So what I think is more likely here is that Stephanie doesn't want her daughter saying anything off the cuff while she's on live stream that she then wouldn't be able to edit out. She wouldn't be able to suppress from getting out to the general public. We have to remember that Stephanie and Drew have isolated themselves, and more importantly, their children, as many outside influences and mandatory reporters as they can without completely removing the children from school. They have no relationship with Drew's family. They have no relationship with Stephanie's family. They have no support network.
Think that I didn't wish that I could just call my mom and be like, yo, it's Grammy's turn. I need a break from these babies. And she was just an awesome mom that y'all claim that she is, and I can trust her with my babies. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Who doesn't want a grandma or grandpa in their corner? Me and Drew got none of that. You know, his dad passed away pretty young. My dad hasn't been in the picture for years. And then my mom is a whack job. So, yeah, I wish to God that I had a mother that I could call on to help me with my kiddos. But that's not the case.
They have no friends. Stephanie has said as much, that she doesn't have any friends multiple times over the years.
No, I don't. I need to make mom friends. I really do. Like, I'm not that sociable of a person. Social situations are very awkward to me, not gonna lie.
They have ignored attempts from other parents in their children's school to facilitate a relationship, and the kids themselves do not have any sort of after-school activities. They don't appear to be enrolled in any sports or clubs. They don't go on play dates. They don't go to sleepovers or even visit friends. They don't even seem to go to the park anymore, and they certainly don't have anyone over for their birthday parties, as shown in both 2024 and 2025, respectively.
Now, like I mentioned with our son's birthday, we are keeping our birthday celebrations pretty small, at-home kind of celebration.
The children also frequently miss school, something that Stephanie has complained about earlier this year.
I'm sorry, but I completely disagree with the school system. I think it's absolutely fucking whack that we have our kids running little lives like they're in their own little W-2s. Like, the whole attendance rate and the fact that, like, my kids can't take a sick day without it being marked against them, I think it's absolute bullshit. They're children. They should have absolute freedom when it comes to that, and they shouldn't have this a certain amount of days they need to be in your freaking system.
So, from the outside, it appears like Stephanie and Drew have isolated their children as much as possible from outside influences likely to suppress or limit the amount of interaction that her children can have with outside adults who might take issue with the things the children might say, or the way the children appear, or whatever.
Why does working have to be your way of working? Why does it have to be a W-2? What I don't get is that would definitely mean that my kids would be in somebody else's care, so I could work at some point, or so we could both work. Why would we want that? Why do we not want to raise our own kids?
Which is a common tactic used by neglectful and abusive parents who are trying to avoid potential accountability or repercussions for the way they're choosing to take care of their children. Now, we don't know what happened when Stephanie turned the live stream off. How could we? All we know is that a little while later, she'll come back on live on YouTube, presumably after she yelled at her kids for interrupting her, because for the second live stream, no one bugs her. And if you think that I'm being melodramatic or hyperbolic in saying that, I want to remind you that there is a DHS report that implied that Stephanie Thompson had punched Drew's son, DS. And if that's not enough, I want to present to you this next clip, which Stephanie Thompson accidentally uploaded to her Facebook page and quickly took down, writing shortly after, "Whoops, if you saw the video I just posted a few minutes ago, I posted the wrong one. Whoopsie!" Laughing, crying emoji. Anyway, here's the voiceover. Hashtag motel life, hashtag family of 7, hashtag dinner, hashtag delicious food. Fortunately for us, a California-based TikTok creator by the name of Nicole Violet Gordon managed to get a screen recording of the unedited version of the video before Stephanie took it down. In this raw footage, Stephanie is serving dinner while one of her older children, presumably her 2-year-old, is having a meltdown. Irritably, and with a flat affectation, so no accents here, Stephanie asks gruffly, "Who's doing that click shit? You got a voice, who is it?"
Who's doing that click shit? You got a voice, who is it?
Ooh. Now, let's cross-compare that with the video Stephanie intended to upload. You know, the authentic, genuine, real version of Stephanie.
Honestly, what do we think about that Delululand kitchen thing? Because I kind of want to run with it. I know a lot of y'all like to say I'm in Delululand for keeping positivity about my life situation. So I don't find it delusional to keep positivity in whatever situation you're in. I'm grateful for where you're at, and what you have ahead of you is how you grow. Delicious. I wanted to see what y'all think about me doing like some plate dinner with me videos. I haven't done much of those type of videos before on my account, but I thought it might be kind of fun to start adding. All right, let's get back to it. Once the sauce was done, I poured it over the chicken. At this point, I'm realizing we really need some more aesthetic place because it's giving nursing home. But it was delicious. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.
It really recontextualizes things, I think, in terms of why Stephanie won't let her daughters participate on a live stream.
Nope, I'll go ahead and turn it off.
What?
Yep.
Why?
Because I don't generally have you guys in the lives like that. Okay, I'm gonna go, okay? I'll talk to you guys later.
It's giving controlling.
Who's doing that click shit? You got a voice, who is it?
I also want to come back to this statement that Stephanie makes in the re-upload where she says, "I know a lot of y'all like to say I'm in Delululand for keeping positivity about my life situation."
I know a lot of y'all like to say I'm in Delululand for keeping positivity about my life situation. So I don't find it delusional to keep positivity in whatever situation you're in.
Keeping positivity, eh? Delululand, for sure. I mean, if the slides fit.
Who's doing that click shit?
Sit her down on the flipping couch. Okay, move it. If I hear one more word, get out.
Okay, girl. More and more, the barely adhered face mask is slipping. If anything, Stephanie Thompson looks like a burn victim with the way that her mask has just peeled away from her face, because Freddy Krueger could never. I'm sure we are going to see more slips like this. Of course we are, because Stephanie is sloppy. They're messy, they're disorganized. They're just chasing a quick buck. And I am sure that we will have another crash out soon.
Okay, well, I'll share original audio. I'll share the video with original audio because, no, you're not going to come at me like just because I didn't share the clip, I had something to hide. Sometimes I want to put my own voiceovers over a video because, God forbid, content creating is what I do for myself outside of just being a mother. It's something I started because I wanted a hobby. I wanted something that made me feel like I wasn't only just a mother. And I know other moms can relate to that, and that doesn't make me a terrible mom. What you're hearing is the end of the night overstimulation that all of us reach a point at, because there's 7 of us in one bedroom, in motel room, as you know, and it's gonna happen to any family. We're not perfect. We don't claim to be. But we're not hiding anything, and we are a happy family that doesn't need people poking around, sending authorities our way because, oh my God, these are terrible parents. She's a bully. For being overstimulated, I'm a bully. No.
Especially if court with Desiree today doesn't go their way. I'm hoping that it won't, because I legitimately do not think that this is a good home for the child. But we're gonna have to wait and see, as per usual. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm still working on some larger, more in-depth videos, including about the leaked DMs between Alicia Doherty and my friend Marissa, aka Not Another Housewife. So until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!